Hello, my name is Patrick Smith, and I teach at the Cooperative Arts High School here in New Haven, Connecticut. I've been here for, almost 28 years, and I've been involved with this Music Education Award process for the last 8 years, and I have learned so much about what I do and what I'm trying to do by being in this process. And so I thought I'd like to share with you a system that I developed for the students I had, many of whom were beginners and had never even played an instrument before, but had a desire to learn. I realized upon coming in my classroom for the first time back then that the best place to start was the best place that I started, which was learning scales. So we began playing scales, and we always made it almost a game out of it. And I'm offering this to other educators because this really works, especially now in urban districts where we are facing lots of deficits regarding funding and availability and access. So for about 30 minutes each day out of our 90-minute music classes, we warm up with scales of all kinds. But we've gone from just the major scales through the 18 forms of scales in Western art music. It's remarkable that the technique that one can develop simply by doing imaginative versions of scales. My student Marco Sanchez, who graduated in 2001, and actually his best friend Aaron Mitchell, both were early participants in this project of creating a way for beginners to succeed quickly during high school without private lessons. Marcos went on to receive the honor of a 2017 Latin Grammy, and Aaron went on to work for Netflix as an executive after he graduated from Harvard. And Aaron went even further. He created a $100 million fund through his contacts with Netflix to help fund Black-owned business throughout America. And he credits this program and the discipline that he gained by participating in it with the discipline that was required to accomplish what he has accomplished so far in his life. Practicing these scales turns into a group private lesson every day. None of my students have the benefit of private instruction outside of school. I also teach a number of twice exceptional and special needs students. And while I offer this information in a slightly modified way, they get it, and they can really play. Student peers who are more advanced become co-teachers to the kids that are a little lower than them in their technique. And there's a lot of internal love in the room being built because no one ever laughs at anyone else unless everyone is laughing with them. There's no fear. There's really, the natural fear of being a human being in the world is somehow dampened by the camaraderie that takes place when we're all working together to come up with a solution that's going to make us all better. I heard someone once say that you only have to be one day more advanced than the student you're teaching. And in some cases, that is very true. But I think the most important thing I can say for any teacher that wants to try this or do anything else, forgive yourself for not knowing. Our egos tell us that we have to succeed, and if we cannot get that most resistant student to perform, then we are somehow failures. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. So remember to forgive yourself for not knowing an answer. Forgive yourself for not being able to do something immediately or making mistakes. We're all human, and when the kids see that you are trying, they don't care that you make mistakes. They care that you're trying. So I'm going to plug in this video for you, and I hope you enjoy it, and thanks a lot for taking the time to watch. Appreciate your support. Thanks. Bye-bye.
For Aeolian. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and... I add the lowered 2, and now I have Phrygian. Add the 2, and go. And finally the 5. So lower the 5th for Locrian. Ready, go. Now I'll polish it off with a chromatic. And then I add this, diminished 7th. Augmented. Major for 2 octaves. Now, your 1 chord, your 5 chord, and your 1 chord. Now, do we have time today to do all 12 of them in a row? I'm getting some nods yes, and I'm getting some nods no. All right, does anybody have any questions about this? So let me just recap. This entire sequence is based on Greek mythology. Light being the raised fourth for Lydian, which actually leads you to 5. Working your way through to the dark with Locrian. And the beauty of this whole system is that if you go up chromatically, in C sharp you can start over. And it works great. Let's try it in C sharp. Major, Lydian major, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. In C sharp. 1, 2, all together. 2, 3, and.